So in our last class, we had completely discussed about the overview on the version control system, source code management, Git and GitHub. Also, we saw how we can install Git on our local machine on the server and how we can create repositories, create branches, and working with multiple files, commit, right? Merging everything we saw in the local repository with all sort of commands, whatever there in the Git local or Git command lines, everything we saw it. So in today's class, we'll discuss about the GitHub, which is nothing but the remote repository. So why we need remote repository? What is the role of that? And what benefits GitHub is providing? We already have discussed in our last class. Today, I'll show you the practical thing, the experience, how we can just use the GitHub very wisely. And GitHub, guys, actually provide a lot of features, it provides with very easy to use UI. Okay, I'll just guide you step by step. And with GitHub, I also help you to see how we can collaborate, how we can work collaboratively using organizations, peoples, our peoples, and admin access, everything. I'll just show you how we can do that. With that, we'll see how we can work with both local repository as well as remote repositories. How we can store the repositories which we have created in locally to remote repository, as well as from remote to local. The push and pull mechanism, everything we'll see in our class. So let's start. So before moving to the GitHub, as I said, GitHub is a web-based remote repository, right? For that, you have to log into your browser, okay, and just type github.com, okay, github.com. It is a web-based remote repository. That's why it's called remote repository, right? It is remotely available and you can store your code remotely in somewhere else, right? Now, so here it is. Just use this github.com and you'll see here. See what it says. Let's build from here, like the AI-powered developer platform to build, scale, and deliver secure software. So we can just, actually, it provides lots of things. See, productivity, whatever is just given here, just go through this page. I'm not going through this page because these documentations actually no use, but still having some ideas to see how GitHub actually is being leading in the market, what sort of feature it provides, right? So collaborations, what is the collaborations, right? What is Sage? Supercharged collaboration. We provide unlimited repositories based in class version control and the world's most powerful open source community, so your team can work more efficiently together. That is what they say. So it is a, as very beginning I say, right, is a GitHub is a collaboration platform, right? So it uses, we can use this GitHub and it provides unlimited repositories. It provides unlimited repositories. You can create as many repositories you want, both public as well as private. Okay, so how we can do? Just sign up for yourself, sign up for GitHub. It's very simple. You have to provide your username, okay, and email address, password. That's all. And you have to just verify some puzzle after that, and you'll just create your account. It will not ask for any account, any debit card or credit card or anything, right? It will be simple. You have to log it. It's very simple. I'm not going to. I have already 2 accounts with GitHub, so you just create your one. Okay, so once you create this account, you will be getting like this. So this is my GitHub account, and here is the Ranjit for GitHub. Is my account name. Okay, so here Ranjit for GitHub. You can see here Ranjit. If you just Google it anywhere, I think you'll find. If you just Google it, you'll find maximum of my sites is Ranjit showing here on YouTube channel I have. This is my YouTube channel. This is my LinkedIn profile, and this is my website, and this is my GitHub repository, remote repositories. Okay, I keep all the applications, all the work, whatever I believe is required for the people to learn, right? So publicly I said, all my private projects, I keep it private. All the public project, whatever I believe are required for the people to learn and groom up their career, I just put it over there. Okay, so if you just search it, everything you'll find it, all the my social sites, everything you can find it over there with the GitHub repositories. Okay, so here you can see I have my repositories with, so I have, you can see I have few repositories available here. Like these are the my so whatever I'm working is private. These are my private projects. Okay, whatever I am just working on, and few are public, which is I have kept it for public to use it. Okay, most of them are public actually. Few are private, whichever I am working on. The rest are actually public. Okay, that's all. So you can see here I have around 36 repositories created on my list. Okay, so before moving this, let's go here. So once you log in, you will be landed at your home page. Okay, and you can see here it's overview tab, and we have repositories tab, projects, packages, start, and all these things I'll just explain you. So once you log in, how you create and set up your profile. So first things, you have to just set up your profiles, right? Just click on this in the right hand side, right top. You'll see your picture over there, right? Click on this, and here you'll find lots of other options available. So your profile, whatever your profile work, your settings, everything you need to set up over there, right? Just click on your profile, you'll be landed into this page, and whatever the settings, edit profile, you have to just edit profile and give all the changes. So since 2019, this particular account was created. Okay, let me just, if I just so more activity. Okay, now this is it's going month by month. It's okay. You can see here from 2019 is being created and it's being worked. That's okay. So what you can do here, now we have to focus on the creation of repositories and all. So the profile part, you have to take care of the profile part, and you have to create by yourself. So all the changes, everything you have to do by editing your profiles. Okay, now it's up to you how you have to do that. Now what we can do, you can see here, we have this your repositories. If you don't see your repositories over here, you can see here it will not be there initially when you just go there. And if you want to go directly, you can click there and go to your repositories, right? Then it will come to your repository sections, and you can find whatever the repositories you have. As you will create and sign up very fast, you'll not have anything, right? You have to set up all your profiles. After that, you have to create a new repositories, right? One new button will be like this, right? So just click on this, and here you can just provide the repository name, and here it will be the owner. I'll just explain about this owner later on. First, let's create and focus on this repositories. Okay, if you see here, it will have two owners. I'll be Ranjit for GitHub, and another one is the DevOps Raj. Okay, the two owners are there for this account. I'll talk about what is this one. Okay, this one I can see this is the main account, but what is this I'll talk about later on. Now let's create a repository. Just provide a name. What it says, great repository names are search and memorable, right? So you have to provide a name. Normally what happens, it gives like great repository names are search and memorable. That's okay. You have to provide a very short and memorable repository name. But in short, if you think about in reality, whenever you're working on a project in a company, what you have to do, you have to provide your project application name and with the team names, and it will be a big name actually, right? You have to provide your team name, your repo name, and your account name to identify which repositories belongs to which team, which account, right? Because in organization, in companies, will not have only one team. There will be multiple teams, multiple accounts, multiple line of business, LOBs, lots of things will be there, right? So that you have to identify by giving a unique name. Suppose, let me give you the name here. I'll give as, suppose the application name is suppose demo. right? And I can give, suppose this line of business is like finance, okay, demo, finance, okay, and the team name is suppose DevOps. Cool. So I created a repository name is called demo finance DevOps team. So demo is the application name, finance is the LOB, or DevOps is the team who is good. Or you can say dev, demo finance dev, right? Now what you can just give a descriptions, right? What you can just give dev development repository, dev repository, okay, repository for demo applications, for demo applications, dev repository for demo application. Give a good, perfect, understandable description, okay? Though it is optional, but it's good and advisable to provide it here so that everyone, whoever new to that, or whoever is coming in from your management side, they can, seeing the description, can understand what is this for. So this is a development repository for demo application. Like that, I gave it. So here it gives options, public and private. Two types of repositories you can create. So public means anyone on the internet can see these repositories. You choose who can commit. Anyone can see your repositories, but you have to put a control who can commit, who cannot. Private, you choose who can see and commit to the repository. So it will be totally private to you. Even though you just search my repository there in the Google and go there, you'll only see the public repositories. You cannot find the private repositories. Okay, that is, I have made it private. Only I can choose, I can provide access to the user who can access it, right? Let's make it public for our demo. And here, add a README file. And this README file actually very, very useful for any project work. And you must have to select. Even though you don't select, that is absolutely fine. It will not cause any problem. But you will be putting your application in a dark side where nobody can understand what the application is for. If you don't add this, if you add the README file and put the informations, all the info about your applications, what is this application is for, how to use these applications, what sort of commands, everything you'll put into the README file. Nowadays, everywhere people are adding this README file so that whoever new to this portion, whoever new coming and just reading that applications can understand, right? And can go through this README file, make sure that can easily understand and work on that, right? Everything will put in this. So select add README file, okay? And here we have add git.gitignore. These things I'll just talk about later in this class, but later I'll talk about this gitignore. Now we have this license, leave it. This license is for what it says, a license tells others that what they can and cannot do with your code. So that license, it will be provided by your company. You will not have those license. I don't have this license created, but in your organization, your company, they will have your license. You have to choose the license there. And the next one is, this will set master as the default branch. So whenever I create a repository, the default branch will be master. You would have seen, right, when in our last class, like yesterday's class, when we created the repository, what was the default branch? It created the master branch, right? Now, okay. Now let's pause this one here. Let me ask few questions in 5 minutes. Okay, so can anybody tell how to create a repository in Git local? how to create a repository in Git local, in Git.
So we can use mkdir command.
No. Anyone else? How we can create a repository in Git? Just
Git
try it.
init.
Sorry?
A Git init.
Exactly. So the Git init. So thank you, Prasant, for trying it. So Prasant, actually, whenever you are going to create a repository, first you have to create a directory or folder, and you are going to make that particular directory and folder as your repository. So first you have to create a directory or folder, and if you're going to create a new repository, then under that folder, you have to execute the command git init. So guys, that's why sufficient. And Rudra, so there's very basic things, right? Very simple things to understand, because that is what we are working, right? To create the repositories. That's the very first thing, right? To create repository. So git init will be used to create the git repositories. Okay. So don't forget, guys, do practice. Otherwise, you'll not remember these things. Okay. That's good. Okay. Thank you, guys. So now what we can do, everything, all the things, whatever we need, we kept it there. Now create repository. Good. Now I created the repository. Now you can see here, I have a repository created. It's called demo finance dev, which is public, right? And the first default branch is the master branch. I don't have any other branches. I have only one branch is there. Okay. And here the readme file, readme.md, and this is what the definitions, this is what the definition we had written in the readme, it is been kept. So this is the name of the repository. And here the descriptions, whatever we had given while creating the repository, has been initially been kept it here. Okay, now what we can do here. So when we create a repository, it's just we went to the repository, inside the repository to the master branch. Now let's go back to this account. Okay, and here go to this repositories. Now earlier I had 37, now I have 36, now I have 37, right? Go to this repositories here. You can see I have this repository, demo finance dev, right? Now what you can do here, updated 1 minute ago. Let's click this one, and you'll be go inside to the repositories. Now we are inside this repositories, right? We have this file. What you can do here, we can add new files here. How you'll do that? Go here, add, create new file. So give a file name. Suppose I'll give module1.cpp. Sorry. Module1.cpp. C++ file. Okay. Module1.cpp. Just give some, write your code, right? Just write your code here. Suppose I'll just write, this is the first module for demo applications. Demo app. Then what you can see here, after writing, that's why the definitions and overview on the GitHub class, right? What I said, the GitHub is a web-based remote repository. Along with it provides a good platform for the developer people to use it. So you don't actually need a separate editor to edit and work it. You can directly edit here also itself. You can see it provides one editor here. You can directly write your code here itself in the GitHub. You don't have to even write the code locally and push it back. But normally the way the syntax and the rule is to write the code locally, save it on the local machines and do whatever the work you are doing, and then you can directly put it there. But most of the companies I have seen also, most of the companies, what they do, they directly create branches in the remote repository and start working there. Even you can do that, not a problem. It's up to you, your company, how you set up the architecture, right? It's up to your company's decision. About your decisions, your architecture, whatever architect you provide, right? Whatever design you do, whatever the rules you have to follow, right? Rules and regulations that you have to follow, and you can do that, right? Even most of the times I used to directly write in the GitHub, or directly I used to create the features, create the branches, whatever the branching strategy, right? In our last class, we talked about the branching strategy. That will be very, very useful and very, very important in your source code management journey to learn in GitHub, okay? That is, you have to very well understand. Now we will also discuss about this branching again, okay? Now I have created this file, edited whatever the code I need to write. This code, this file could be hundreds of lines, could be thousands of lines, right? Because the code, we don't know how many lines we have to write there, right? Now, after you do the changes, if you don't want to save it or commit, you can cancel the changes very well. And this cancel changes will be nothing but our restore command, right? Yesterday we saw, if you want to from working copy, right, working directory, you have to come back to your working directory, it will be just use git restore, it will restore back to the this one. Now what we can do, we can directly do some commit changes. After you do some changes or added file, we can directly do commit changes. So here, give a commit message. The message by default it takes create module1.cpp. So you can give your own message. Okay, you can give your own message, and you can give also descriptions, any other descriptions you want to provide. So why it is very useful, guys? See, because you are not the only person who will be working in your team, right? There will be multiple other people also will be working. 4 or 5 members will be working. So you guys will be working on the demo application, suppose, okay, on this project, and you'll be working some sort of modules, and whatever the changes you have done, right? If I want to see what are the changes you have done, I can directly get this commit message and descriptions without going inside the code. If you have not written the clear description or clear message here, so I'll not able to find what is being changed in the code. What I have to do, either I have to go and check the differences of this file, what was before, what is now, or I can have to go to the code, inside the code, and just check. By going inside the code and checking, it will take lots of time to identify what actually have changed, right? If you have written here the clear message, right? So everyone can understand what is the, in your team can understand what the changes XYZ have done, right? So I can just mention, write a message here. This is the first initial commit, something like I can do initial commit, right? So create module1, that means we created this file. This is the initial commit, that's okay. Commit directly to the branch, or it also gives an option, create a new branch and commit. Create a new branch and commit. This option we'll see later, but now let's commit directly to the master branch, right? Let's commit the changes. Now we can see we have one file created over here. We have one file created over here. So the commit message, what it says, it gives create module1.cpp. Just now it is. Okay. Now, what we can do here? We have created one file under this particular repository, this particular branch, right? In this repository, under this master branch, we created this particular file. I have, okay, if I go here, we have this master branch having this one particular file. Now, let's go ahead and create one more branch. Okay, based on a branching strategy, you have to create one more. How will you create a branch in Git? Okay, this is a question. How will you create a branch in Git?
Git branch, I think.
Git branch and the branch.
And branch name.
Yes. So Git branch and the branch name, it will create a branch for us. So whatever branch you are creating and from where you are from which branch you want to copy, want to clone it, what you have to do, you have to be there in that particular branch, and then you have to execute the command git branch XYZ, right? Suppose I want to get copy from master branch, then I have to be there in the master branch, and then I have to hit command git branch and the XYZ. So it will be copy of master branch. XYZ will be copy of master branch. Similarly, here, let me go ahead and create a branch. So here, if you just select it here, find or create a branch. So give a name here. Suppose I'll give feature hyphen 1.0. Now you can see here, it gives option below, create branch feature 1.0 from master. Feature 1.0 from master. So just click on here. So master branch, you can see here, I created a branch called feature 1.0. I have a branch called feature 1.0. Now see master branch and feature. So I have selected feature. Now I'm into feature 1.0. And feature 1.0 as I copied from master. So whatever data, whatever file is master is having, right? If I click master, now I'm into master. Whatever data master is having, now feature will also have the same data, right? If I click this file, you can see this is the first module for demo app, right? And this is the feature branch. This is the feature branch. Now let me add new file, one more file into this feature branch. How will do that? Here you can see add file option is there. If you are getting this particular UI, see every time the tool, whatever you are using, they keep upgrading. This particular left side bar pen was not there before. They recently have added this one. Okay. Now, if you don't see this pen also, if you are using anyway, the GitHub, you are using the free open source version, you will definitely find this kind of pen over there. Click this add file here. Okay. How will do that? Here you can click add file, or you can just go to the branch here itself in the feature, select this feature branch, add file, create new file. Or if you have file already created, you want to upload it here, upload to the repositories, you can click upload here. Click upload and it will be uploaded. Okay, let's create a new file. Give a name like module2.cpp. This is second module demo. I'm just giving some line here, but it will be the code you have to write here, right? So now let's commit changes again, like second module file added, right? Directly I'm branch. Well, see here, commit directly to the feature branch. Okay, feature 1.0 branch. Commit changes. What happened? Yes. So you have to refresh it. Okay. Now we can see here we have this, after refreshing, you can see here, we have this file module2.cpp. Just now we created, right? We have module 1 and module 2. And same time also, you can see a message over here, right? Light yellow color, you can see the message over here. What is it? Feature 1.0 had recent pushes less than a minute ago. If you want to merge this to master or not, compare and pull requests to be done for the master. So, and here this branch 1 is 1 commit ahead of master. Master had 1 commit, now this one is having 2 commits. Like master, if I just see in feature 1.0, we have 3 files here, right? 3 files. Now, if I go to the master, it will have 2 files, right? It is having 2 files now. The same things you have to do. If you want to add the feature 1, to merge the feature 1 to the master, what you can do, you can simply click this one, compare and pull, okay, and just give a message, okay, let the message like this, and here create and pull request, click on this create and pull request. So what is it is checking actually automatically for you. It does automatic check for you whether there is a conflict or not, whether we are okay to merge feature 1 to master or not. If there is a conflict, then you have to fix it first and then merge it. I'll show you how we can do that. Okay. So now we can see here that this branch has no conflicts with the base branch. Base branch is the master branch, and this branch is the feature 1.0. If there is no conflict, then it will allow you to merge the pull requests. And you can see here we have this create pull request for this module 2. What it says, this account, this owner wants to merge 1 commit into master from feature. This is the pull request is open. Now you can see here how collaboration works actually. Here you cannot directly actually merge unless someone approves it. So this is my own account. I can do whatever. I have no reviewers here. I know approvers. So what I can do, I can directly go ahead and merge it. I can directly go ahead and merge it. But whenever in the real time you will be working, guys, just remember these things, whatever I'm saying. You'll not directly merge it. There will be people to review and approve your work, and then you have to merge it. Then you have to merge it. So that's why you have to add reviewer here who will review your code, who has the capability of reviewing and approving your code and make sure that is okay. Then you have to approve and merge into the master. Okay, again, another question. When you should merge the code to master? I already have told many times in our last class. When you are good to merge your code to master or main branch. This is very important question actually. And in this question, actually, the interviewer can understand you have the real-time work and you have really worked.
Like
When
when I
other
was
person have given better solution.
Sorry, one by one. So Faijan, please.
When the other person who is merging, they had given better solution or proposed a better problem than us.
No, it's totally wrong. And Prasant? Prasant?
Actually, I don't have much.
Okay. Okay, guys. So thank you, Faijan. Actually, you have told something, tried something, like what you said, like if somebody has better solution or better suggestion or better things to provide, right, then you will be merging to the branch. master branch. And I see, just listen my questions carefully. What I told to the master branch, right? So master branch is the one branch which is the initially created, or it will have the final working copy. So to the final working copy, we cannot directly merge the work, whatever we have done, to the final copy or to the master copy, unless it is released to the production and done the smoke test and approved, and the work is completely fine. The code, whatever you, I was talking about right in our last class, production release, after that smoke test will be done, then the code will be merged to master. Even though here the approver, good approver gives good solutions or a good review, then it will not be directly, we should not directly merge to the master. Here I'm giving you the example how we can merge to the master, how you can merge to the master, but in the real time, we don't directly merge to the master unless the code is released to the production environment and smoke tested successfully, and the application is working fine. Then we merge that code to the final copy, to the master. Got my point? So Faizan, is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Guys, just remember, this is not, I'm just telling just overview and book copy and all these things. This is the real time, what, how we work, how the people work in the company. Okay, this is the real work time, and you have to understand properly. And these things you have to tell to the interviewer, and then the interviewer will be happy, and within 2-3 questions they'll select you. Okay, if you give the real time answers to them. Fine. So this is, I'm showing you how we can merge to a branch. Just forget about different master, not master one, different branch. How will merge it? Normally, there will be a reviewer, some approver will be there. They have to first approve. How will add it? Go to this here, search for the user. As I don't have any user, I cannot find it here, right? So you, if in your account there will be multiple users, so you have to just select for the users, and that user will be the reviewer for your code or for your application, and they have to approve it. Once they approve it, you can go ahead and click on this merge, right? Full merge request and confirm merge, right? Merge is now confirmed. So what you'll do after the merge is confirmed, right? What you can do, let's go to the repositories. Now, if you see, now see, master is having 2 files now, module 1 and module 2. So master is having now 2 files, right? Similarly, we have 2 branches. Master is having 2 files, and feature 1 is, now feature 1 and master are identical. Once the feature is released, we have to, normally what happens, feature copies never, in the real time, feature copies never get merged into master. So which copy needs to be merged? The release copy, which is released successfully. So what you have to do? From the feature copy, once the feature copy is tested successfully in the test environment and QA environment, then what you have to do? You have to create a release branch. Like yesterday, we discussed about the branching strategy, right? So we have to create the release 1.0 support based on your strategy. You have to create it. Let's create the release branch. Okay. After testing, you don't have to actually add anything to the release branch. You don't have to actually add anything to your release branch, because feature branch is tested. So release branch only have to go to your production environment, right? Suppose you felt after creating this branch, you felt you need to do some changes to the feature branch, right? Let's go to the feature branch, and in module 1, you might have to do some changes. Suppose I'll add here. So I will add, modify here. I created the first time, right? So you can see here in this file, we have one pencil button here, right? Edit this file. Click this one and see it gives the cursor here. Second line for release demo. Done. Commit. changes. Give message for release to the direct 1.1 branch, commit changes. Done. Now let's refresh this page. It should be automatically refreshed, but why not? It's not refreshing. We're fine. Now what you can see here, we have this file. We have this feature file with new line added. Now we need this to be sent to the testing environment. We'll do everything whatever I'm telling, right? Whenever we learn our Jenkins to do automate complete CI and CD, continuous integration, continuous delivery, and deployment, that time we are going to definitely use this technique, whatever I am just telling you, right? Everything we need to use whatever we are just discussing. That time we'll again have to do the same thing to see how the code will write it here, and the same code how we'll do automatically build, automatically test, automatically deliver and deploy to the different environment, different server. These things we'll discuss about. Now what we can do here, simply I created and send this particular file to test environment for testing, and it is done. Now what you can do, we can create a release branch after that. If already I have created the release branch, now let's merge this release feature branch to the release branch. So how we'll do that? Go there, right? What is SESS? This particular one commit and one commit behind to the master. One commit ahead and one commit behind the master. Now let's check the release branch. What is SESS? This branch is one commit behind the master, right? So our feature 1.0, if I see here, I just 2 minutes ago, I updated this particular thing, right? Now what we can do, we can just create a pull request. Okay, now let's select. There are not any pull request there, new pull request we can create. So what we can do, we can merge the feature 1 with feature 2, right? So what we can do, base will make it as feature 1 and release 1. Sorry, it should be, no, it's a vice versa. It should be release 1.0 base and feature 1.0. So now what is SESS? Able to merge. Now I created a pull request here, right? So what I have to do, I have to merge feature 1.0 to release 1.0. Base is release 1.0 and compare, which will be compared and merge it here. Now let's create the pull requests, and you should have a reviewer to review it, approve it. Now let's go ahead and create pull requests, right? And it is checking for ability, right? So this branch has no conflict, and with base branch, that means feature 1 has no conflict with release 1. Now let's go ahead and merge pull request. Confirm the merge. Done. Now see, it is merged, right? Let's go back to the repository here, and we have the master 2 files, but master 1.cpp is having only 1 line. But if I go to the release branch, which I'm going to release, this 1 CPP is having 2 lines. Now what I need, this particular release branch will send to productions for the release. So once it is released successfully into the production environment, we have to do the smoke testing. Everything is fine. What about the requirement? The customer is satisfied. All are signed off. Then we need this release branch to be updated into the master branch. So this particular release branch has to be merged into the master, not the feature branch. Feature branch will be for testing. and all these things based on your branching strategy, right? So I'm going to now merge everything is successful with the production. Now I'm going to merge this release branch to master. So how will do that? Go to, again, demo finance here. So here automatically comes the release 1.0 had recent pushes and compare and pull requests. It automatically gives. If it automatically does not gives you, what you'll have to do, you have to just click on this pull request and go with that. Now let's go ahead and compare pull requests, compare and pull request. Same thing, release 1.0 to master, because this is the production version, right? Now this release 1.0, which is in the production, this is the production version, and that needs to be updated into the final copy, the master copy. Okay, now able to merge. Let's go ahead. Again, reviewer has to review, and your manager or somebody has to approve it. Then create pull request, right? And see, merge pull request, confirm, merge. Done. So now if I go to this master branch, we'll have this master branch also. If I click on this module 1, we'll have 2 lines, see, which is the release copy. Now our the production copy and master copy are equal. Suppose tomorrow there are new changes coming, new features to be added. So you have to either take a copy of from the release branch or create a feature, new feature, and just started working, or you can directly take a copy from the master branch. Once the release branch is the final copy, right? This is the production copy. This is already released. Either you can take then this copy and this master copy will be of same copy, right? So either you can take a new copy from the scratch to work with a new feature, you can directly take it from master and the release. So this is how you have to work on the real time in the company. Okay, this is all about, we talk about the branching and editing the file and pushing, committing, everything we did it, right? Now what we can do, this is everything I showed you where? In the remote repository. I showed you everything in the remote repository. Now these things, how a developer can clone these things to his and her local machine. So how the collaborations work? See, I have my GitHub account. I can directly come in and just work on the GitHub. And also you have, suppose Fajan is having one account and Rudra is having one account. They can both also log into their GitHub account and start working with their respective module. And Fajan can create his another branch feature Fajan 1.0 or feature Rudra 1.0 or something. He can give the feature branch name and he start working there. Then he can, once everything is done, we have to merge into the one file, one release branch, and into that release branch will be released into the production. And then it will be come back to the master. This is how you have to do in the remote if you are working on the GitHub direct. But how these things we can pull it to the local copy. One demerit will be, that is nowadays we cannot say it a demerit, but there could be chances of network outage, or could be chances of network clamps, right? What will happen there? If you're directly dependent on the GitHub remote repository, if you directly use this GitHub as your development platform, if there is a network outage, if a network slowness happen, it will be difficult to work. And suppose that network outage continues for 1-2 hours, or slowness continues for 3-4 hours. So 3-4 hours of time will be wasted. That's why we actually, as a DevOps or developer people, what we do, we directly clone a copy to our local repository, to our local server, and start working into that local server. And once our code is ready, we can directly push into the remote repository. We can directly push into the remote repository. That is what we are going to, and that is what the great benefit we are getting from the Git and GitHub. Because there will be no barrier of the network. Before to the subversion, if you think about the subversion, we are directly connecting to the remote repository and started working there. If there is a network outage, then there will be no work because everything was in the remote repositories. But in the GitHub, what happens? We are directly cloning that one, starting working in the local repository, and then copying or pushing that file to the remote repository. Right? How we'll do that? Suppose I have these remote repositories, right? I have these repositories. Here you can see code, right? Click on this. We have this clone option available, right? Clone option available. What happened? HTTPS, SSH, GitHub client, and everything. Now let's see this particular option here. Click this one, right? Click this one, copy it. This option is copy, or you can directly select and copy also. I copied this particular link. Okay. How I'll clone these two local repositories? Just go to your GitHub local. Here the local machine. I have logged in, right? Now I have this Git version, right? What I can do? We don't have to create any folder here now. We don't have to create any folder here now. If you are getting or cloning from the remote repositories, I'll show you how, why. Okay. What is the command to clone? You have to use git clone, and whatever things we had copied, paste it here, the entire link. And this is the repository name, right? This is the repository name, and this is the account from where we are cloning it. Now hit enter. As this is a public repository, it directly you cloned to a server. But if it is a private repository, then it will ask the user ID and password to clone it. Remember this point. Okay. In your organizations, you will be never working on the public repository. Everything will be private repositories. For private repository, it will ask you to provide user ID and password. Okay. Now we can see here, I just cloned this particular repository. Now, if I just do ls-l here, what we'll see? See, we have already a folder created or directory created based on the repository name, right? Based on the repository name, locally, I have a folder automatically created. And inside this folder, we have all the files, whatever they are in the remote repositories. See, the README file, the module 1 CPP, the module 2 CPP, everything are there. Got it? And also, if I do git branch -l, it just now gives us only master. It gives only master. So to get all the branches there here, what we can simply do, we can directly do git. Let's what we can do, we can do pull. Okay. Okay. Before using this push and pull things, you have to first set off your local to remote, right? You have to make your local to understand which remote machine you are working on, which remote account you are working on. So to do that, we have this command you have to execute. Okay. So suppose I am just going to work on this particular repo, right? So we can go ahead, set it off here, and the repo name is demo finance git. So what you have to do, you have to use git remote set -URL origin. Origin is nothing but your repo and this master origin. Okay. And this the entire link. So hit enter. I'm setting this as origin. Now what we can do, the next command is to, once you set the URL, add the origin. Okay. I think if you add it here, let's put this particular file, hit enter. So remote origin is already added. So if this command we have already added. Now what we can do, we can use, so once I added origin, if I do git branch -l, yeah, master branch, now git pull origin. Okay. Add feature hyphen 1.0. Already up to date. Git branch hyphen. Okay. So I think pool. You can directly git checkout feature 1.0. Okay. Now if I do git branch hyphen L, see we have this feature 1.0 also there. Now if I do git checkout, okay. Now what we can do, feature hyphen, sorry, feature hyphen, not feature, it is what it was, release branch, sorry, release hyphen 1.0. So now git branch hyphen L. So we have all the three branches which are there. Now it is being displayed here. Now I'm into the release branch, right? Now I am into the release branch. Now what we can do here? Let's create a new branch. Suppose new work came, right? Now everything I have cloned to my local machine. There I need to work on new module or new feature. Okay. So what I can do, I can create a new branch either from release branch or from master branch. Okay. So what I can do here, I can create git branch. What is the branch name? Suppose I'll create as feature hyphen 1.1. Now, if I just check out to feature 1, checkout feature hyphen 1.1. Now, if I do git branch hyphen L, we have 4 branches there. We have created feature 1 point and I checked out to this branch and it will have same application data. Same application data. Now I just want to add another feature to my application. Let's create one more file called module3.cpp. Sorry, it's not VII, it's VI. Now let's add something. This is third module of demo app. Of demo app. Done. So I added these 2 things. Now what I have to do? I have to do git. Now it is in working copy. This is the working copy, working directory. Now what I do? Add it to the staging area, right? Add. Then we have to commit it, right? Git commit hyphen m and third module is added. Third module file created. Something like this I added. Sorry, not toward third module. Sorry, third module is third file is created. File module created, right? Now I just created it. So this particular branch is having the third module file created, right? Suppose I want this particular file, once it is locally, I have worked on this file, I want this file to be available into the remote repository for the other tools or applications to take it automatically, do build and testing it. So how we can do? We can use the command git pull, okay, origin. Origin is the remote repository. That is the origin. And which branch you want to push? I created which branch? I created feature branch, right? Feature. So feature hyphen 1.1. Sorry, not pull. Here is the mistake. Not you guys are not telling me, right? It should be push. I am just pushing this file to, I'm just pushing this feature 1.1 branch to the origin. The origin is the remote, right? To the remote repository. Pushing this file. Okay. Now hit. This time it is asking for what? The username. Okay. So you have to provide the username. For me, it is Ranjit for GitHub, and it will ask for the password. Now, the password-based authentication has been deprecated from the GitHub. However, they are providing the personal access token, the PAT, to log in. How you'll generate this password? This is very important also to understand. And that also you have to do in the company real time. How you have to do it and do the setup, right? I'll do that. Go here and you can see this particular icon, right? Again, go to your settings, not this setting. Not this setting is for repository. This setting is for repository. So you have to go this setting. Settings. Okay. Click on this settings and go down, down, down. You'll find one developer setting. Click on this developer setting. And you can see here, there will be option personal access token. PAT. Okay. Click on this. Click on this classic token classic. And here I have already one account, one personal access token, which is going to expire on October 24. Let's create another new token. Generate new token, classic. And you have to authenticate. I have used a multi-factor authentication, so nobody can access my account and do the changes until unless I approve from my mobile. Okay, so use GitHub mobile and I need to approve it from my mobile. Sorry, I have made my mobile as flight mode so that I cannot be disturbed. Let me first, without internet it will not work, right? So let's make it internet connections. Okay, now I can approve 16. Approve. As soon as I open my mobile, I'm getting lots of messages. Okay, okay, now done. Let me make it flight mode again. So this is the way I actually study, guys. I always make my mobiles, my phone flight mode whenever I study. What do you feel? I don't study. I study every day 2 to 3 hours. Okay, everything I find new, I just start studying that. Okay, I just learn everything, and not only learn, I also do practice. I also do new projects for myself. Okay, I do projects, I do things, even though I know that will be no useful, but still I do. I feel that happiness of doing that. And that's why I remember all these things, guys. It's not like 1 day or 2 days or 1 month or 1 year. Since last 9 years, I'm just learning and all these things I'm doing it. Okay. And 17 years of total experience of all these things I'm started doing. Initially, like you, whatever you started the career, that time I was doing, yeah, whatever things I have now, getting money, enjoying life, that's okay. But after some while, when I understood like this is nothing, there are a lot more things to know. Then I started this to learn and started doing something new, right? Every day I'm just learning something. I know that will be no use, but still learning is no harm, right? Just keep learning, keep practicing. That's the most powerful things in your life you have to do. Okay, that's okay. Now what you can do here, personal access token, just give a note to understand. Suppose I'll give as a demo app. For this demo applications, I'm creating this pin. You have to give a note also, that should be understandable. Means for demo applications, I'm giving this, I'm creating the pin. The expirations you have to provide. What will be your, what is the expirations, right? It should be like 3 days or how many days you have to port it. So suppose 7 days. Now select repo. Done. Now let's, the rest of the things based on a requirement, you have to provide it. Just read this particular stuff and read it. Now generate token. Here is the token ID. Copy this token and save it somewhere so that you can use in future, right? I got it. Now what we can do, I can just put it these things here, put the password, hit enter. Now you can see this has been pushed to remote repository. So this feature 1.1 I created locally, but if I go ahead and refresh this page, right? Go to the repository and refresh this page. Go to this and see what is Sage. One had recent who says less than 1. So if I just click it here, see, I have one more branch into the remote repository. I did not create anything, right? Here I already got it. I did it, I just pushed this one. Now this one will be done. So locally you have to work like this. Once you finish that is tested and everything, then you can create a new release branch, and that release one can be pushed to the remote repository, and from there it can be taken for the productions. So that is how you have to totally work on the repository side. Now you understood about the personal access token and everything, right? Now what you can do, here in this particular things, if you want, like if you feel like this particular branches, see, if you click on these 4 branches, and if you feel like these branches can be deleted, you can go ahead and delete here. These branches can be deleted from here. Okay, your activity, your branches, or everything, you can see it here. And here you can see the pull request. I already showed you. It's the actions and everything will sit later. And here the settings means these settings having the complete settings about this repository, about this particular repository. And your account settings will be here. Okay, now this repository setting, you will see here, everything will find it over a pull request and all things. And here also, it has a danger zone. If you feel like this repository is no more required, and you can delete this repository. So what you can do, you can just go ahead and delete this repository. That's why it's given a danger zone. And if you want to change the visibility, and you think like from public you want to make it private, or from private you want to make public, you can just go ahead and change visibility and the rules and transfer active this repository, whatever. Lots of things are active the ownership. If you want to transfer the ownership of this repository to another organizations or another account, you can do that also, right? Lots of things are there. Go ahead and do R&D and just check it. There are other things, actions and GitHub webhook and actions. We'll see in details when we learn about our other DevOps tools. These are tools I'll combine together, and that time I'll teach you how you can do. Also, there are 3 other advanced topics is there, which is called organizations. I'll show you how we can create organizations and work on in our next class. Okay, so the organizations, how we'll get it? If you just click on here, you'll find your organization, right? Click on these organizations, and here I have created only one organization. Let me tell you about this organization. And here I have just created one organization, and you can create a new organization here also. So why we need this organization? Why we need this organization? That is the most important, and you should know that, right? Okay, so this organization is nothing but whenever you create any project, working on any project, your company, right? Your company, suppose you have one GitHub account, and you have multiple teams working, and you don't want to keep all the teams code in one account. What will happen? There will be, suppose, 5 or 10 projects, your company having 5 or 10 projects, and everyone working in the same account. What will happen? All the 10 projects team members will every day will create the repositories on the same account. It will have more codes will be there, and more repositories will be created, and sometimes it will be difficult to manage them. Sometimes it will be difficult to manage them. to segregate and separate your repositories, and you have to create organizations based on your LOB, line of business and project. Then you can go ahead and create organization, and under these organizations you can keep your repositories. You can create your own repositories. Similar things like what we did with your account, we can go ahead with these repositories, and these repositories will be DevOps, right? And here you can see I have few accounts also. I have few repositories also in these repositories, and these are also public. Similarly, you can create other repositories, other organizations, and in that organizations you can keep your own repositories. So understand when you need organizations. Okay, as an architect you have to also provide suggestions to your management, like as a team, as a new project, whatever code base we are going to create, we need a separate organizations to be created and all our repositories to be put. Suppose I am working for an application, for a big project, and in this project we'll have multiple departments, right? Multiple teams will be there. Development team, coding part will be there, database team will be there, DevOps team will be there, testing team will be there, automation team will be there. So 4 or 5 teams for one project will be there. And 4 or 5 teams or 6 teams, we need 4 or 6 repositories to be created to keep their codes, right? So we can create a separate organization and then keep our code there. That is why we have to create the organizations. Okay, now let's go back to your main repositories. GitHub, Ranjit for GitHub, and this is what this repository looks like. Okay, now if I just click here, you can see here that is you have your projects, right? You can create your separate projects there and your code spaces. These new things they have added at the code spaces. Earlier it was not there. Okay, here see how they are providing here. This is a new code space actually they're providing, and this is React. And this is blank. What is start with a blank canvas and import any packages you need to do into the code space. What is this code space? Let's go and see it here. It has all the documentations of the code space. Okay, so overview, click on this code space. So what it says, a code space is a development environment that is hosted in the cloud. You can customize your project for GitHub code spaces by committing configurations file to your repositories, often known as configuration as code. So this is mostly being used by the development, and if you are a huge development based code spaces, you can go ahead and use it. Okay, everything you can find over the code space. Okay, but again, very beginning, whenever we had this overview on the DevOps, you need to understand what is DevOps. It's a mindset, right? How you want to organize your codes, how you want to do automation. It's up to you, right? Your thought process and your mindset. That is what you have to think about. Now, that's we all about saw that code spaces and everything. Now, what we can do here, let's go to the repositories again. Let me tell you what other things I can tell you with respect to this GitHub. We have these okay, repositories and all, right? Organizations we can see here. Anyway, so if I go here, anything else, stats was all this, whatever stats you have received and all these things, profile status you can see, feature review, and these things are like it has also enterprise version. If you want to enterprise, you have to pay it and use it. Enterprise, your GIST, we'll learn about this GIST later on with respect to our Git actions and Git webhook. Okay, that time once we move on and we start learning. So that's all, guys, for today's class. Hope you got lots of information today about GitHub and the complete real-time details also I shared, all the experiences. Hope that will be useful. Keep this video link, whatever I'll share, handy, and just have a view on that and just hear it once or twice so that you will be understand what real-time are. And just do practice. Not only just create a repository once and stop it there. No. Create repositories, create branches, start working, doing this one, and start creating them locally, push it, pull it, merge it, all these things, try to find it conflicts, everything you start doing by yourself. Once you get hands-on, right? Once you do practices, you see how your hands are moving very fast, right? And once we integrate GitHub with other tools, then again we are going to learn a lot more things in the GitHub also. Okay, let me stop this one.